Hi Algebra 1, this is the very first video for subtracting polynomials. So on slide number 4, you will find the steps. So the first step is to check for any special words. This will apply in video number 2, okay? But when you are subtracting polynomials, be sure to distribute the negative to the second expression only and simplify and state your answer in standard form. Now, if you don't remember what standard form is, you can revisit lesson number 2, okay? So we have 2 examples in this video. Please make sure that you are writing down everything that you see here so that you have a model in your notebook. Now, the second step says to distribute the negative to the second expression only, okay? So when you have a minus sign in front of parentheses, that means that you have to distribute this negative to everything inside. So technically speaking, this negative is gonna go to every single term, okay? Now, the easiest way to think about distributing a negative is just by changing all the signs to the opposite. So I always focus on the second one first, okay? So this 6x squared is positive, so that means it's gonna come down as a negative, so it's gonna be minus 6x squared, okay? Do not worry about that negative. These two are different, right? This is saying minus with an imaginary plus. This is just saying minus, okay? This positive 3x is positive. When I change this to the opposite, it becomes minus 3x. And then this was positive, so it comes down as minus 5. After you have distributed your negative to the second expression only, you bring down your first one. So I'm just going to rewrite this one as is. You don't have to do any changes. 2x squared plus 6x plus 5. And just like we did in Friday's lesson, you are then identifying like terms to combine. So I'm going to scan, right? I always start with what I first have. So I have 2x squared, and I'm looking for a like term, so it has to have an x and it has to be squared. So if I scan, I see that I have this negative 6x squared, okay? And when you're combining, you focus only on the coefficients, the number in the front. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. So the first term of my final answer is going to be negative 4x squared. After I combine them, I cross it out so that I don't reuse them. I'm going to go to the next one. I see positive 6x, okay? My like term with this has to be an x with no exponent. Scan, 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 boom. I see negative 3x is a like term. And then I just read it from left to right. Positive 6 minus 3 is 3. So it's going to be positive 3x. Cross them out because I use them. And then finally, I see that I have positive 5 minus 5. Well, 5 minus 5 is 0, so I don't have to put anything else here. So this right here is my final answer. And I am making sure that it is in standard form because standard form is organizing it from greatest to least based on the exponents. And this is the highest exponent and this is the lowest. So this is my final answer. Okay, let's do another example. So we have x squared minus 5x minus 2 minus negative 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. Again, as it lists in the steps, you distribute the negative to the second expression only. So that means that this bad boy has to get distributed to everything, okay? Or simply put, you're just changing the signs to the opposite. So let's see. This was negative, so now it's coming down as positive 6x squared. This was negative, so now it's coming down as positive 7x. And this was negative, so now it's coming down as positive 3, okay? Now, the first one is untouched. You bring it down as is, x squared minus 5x minus 2. And now I'm looking for like terms. Always start with whatever's in the front, okay? So I have x squared. There's an imaginary 1 in the front. Let's not forget that, okay? So I'm looking for whatever else has an x and is squared, scan, boom. I find this positive 6x squared. So if this is the imaginary 1, so I'm going to have 1 plus 6. That gives me 7x squared, okay? Crossing them out. The next one, I see I have negative 5x. Well, like term has to have just an x, right? Scan, I see positive 7x. 5x. So I have negative 5x plus 7x. Okay, well, if I owe you $5 and I paid you 7, that means I paid you 2 more extra dollars. So that means I have positive 2x. Crossing them out. And then finally, I have negative 2 plus 3. I owe you $2. I paid you back 3. That means I gave you an extra dollar plus 1. And then I'm checking my answer to make sure it's in standard form. It's x squared, x to the first, and then no x. So this is my final answer listed in standard form. Now, please make sure you watch video number 2 to see what happens when we include vocab.